So I want to just speak briefly about some of the energies of what's going on right now. And I think we're also going to be doing a toning about that, and we may also invite some shares from you guys. So I'm sure everyone has noticed that there's been some interesting energies in the air. Pretty much everyone I've talked to this week is like, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so stressed. I'm feeling freaked out about this. I'm feeling freaked out about that. There is a collective tension in the air right now. And we see that coming out in a lot of different stories. We see that coming out through coronavirus fear, and we see that coming out through our political system. And there's so many different ways that we experience these things externally. But there's always as well the invitation to what is happening internally at the same time. And that's where we always have our greatest opportunity for transformation, is what's arising within us individually while we are facing all of these external crises or situations or things that are here for us to deal with very physically. And because of that, I want to call attention to that internal experience of what can be dealt with right now. And for a lot of people, this internal experience feels like almost like a nervous excitement or a constriction. There's a little bit of both going on right now. Everybody's kind of taking on their piece of this collective awakening. So when there's a large collective transformation going on, it almost acts like a carving. Because right now, as a collective, we're creating a lot more space for something bigger to emerge. Creating space energetically is not always comfortable. Creating space energetically requires a lot of digging, a lot of carving, a lot of releasing. And this experience on an individual and personal level and on a collective level is often very disruptive to our current experience and our current realities. So we're like, what's wrong with us? Why do I suddenly feel this? Or why am I suddenly overwhelmed? And, we can create a lot of stories and judgment about what we're experiencing and what we're feeling. When in reality, these experiences are often doorways. They're often gateways that are digging a deeper space within us and pulling us deeper down to open it from the depths of who we are to bring in something bigger. Because really nothing bigger or new or creation can come in without the space to do it. So this carving that goes on is very uncomfortable a lot of the time. One of my favorite analogies is a flute maker, right? They have to take a piece of wood and literally carve it to create this beautiful sound. And that is not always the most enjoyable experience, typically. Because creation has been not so comfortable most of the time. Creation, we consider it to be a little bit painful. I mean, if you think even just about childbirth, right? Like creation has not always been a comfortable thing. But something that I've been getting a lot of insight on lately and a lot of communication about is that we are moving collectively into a space where creation can become a lot more easeful and a lot more fun and a lot less painful. And not because we're ignoring the pain, which I would never in a million years suggest to anyone who's experiencing pain, but because we're facing and embracing and transforming that pain into what it truly wants to be, which is the next invitation within all of us. So I truly feel that this external intensity that's going on around us is really like signposts and flags to what has been there all along within all of us, awaiting us to show up, awaiting us to say, okay, I will walk into you, I will embrace you. And the magic that lies on the other side of when we truly open our hearts to all that we are experiencing and all that we are feeling inside, no matter what it is, no matter how scary it is. And this is one of the things I love about cacao, is that it brings those feelings and those things that are sitting within us, lying a bit dormant, to the surface. And it says, this is what's here. Makes it very apparent. And I have people experience all kinds of things after they drink cacao. You know, sometimes they get emotional. Sometimes they get angry. Sometimes they feel amazing. Whatever it is, and every time will be different, because it's whatever is there for you right then in that moment, whatever is the invitation or the doorway or the gateway into your next transformation, into the movement of your creative energy, into all that's ready and waiting for you. So all this being said, I'd really love to do a group toning for you guys to embrace all of this movement and this deep energy that's coming through right now. That's asking for some lightness and some transformation. Okay, so I'm going to ask that you guys just close your eyes.
And Erin, can we lay down if we feel called to do that?
100%. You do whatever makes you comfortable.
So if you're kind of ready to, you don't need to look, you just need to perceive it with your heart and your ears. So if you feel called to really get cozy and maybe go straight to bed from there, you're welcome to.
Totally. I have no judgment on wherever you go. In fact, sometimes I joke that if everybody's asleep, I did my job. So no worries. But when we're done with the toning, we will probably come back for a few shares before wrapping up. But you guys just get comfortable. And there's no efforting on your part here. This is for you to receive, for whatever is being called forward for you right now, in the presence of all our higher selves and our souls collectively today coming together for this powerful initiation and awakening within each one of us, to know that we are the antiviral to the collective energy of fear and terror. That our hearts are strong enough and powerful enough to open and transform all that arises within us and all that is present and here, our collective pieces of the puzzle of awakening that each one of us holds. Your magic is needed to transform the pieces of the collective puzzle that you hold within you. you're ready, very slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Start to come back to the space. Take your time. If you feel the need to stay a little bit longer, that's okay too. Very slowly bringing yourself back to the space. Allowing that energy to continue to settle and move with you. Seeds having been planted, cracked open,